Hello, Jess. I've been in a relationship for over a year and I'm planning to get married to her soon. I've met her parents to make my plans known and they are really happy. 3 weeks ago, I invited her to spend a couple of days with me. We slept on the same bed. In the middle of the night, I found out my boxers were drenched in urine. I woke her up to ask her if she actually wet the bed, and she confirmed it. I didn't make a big deal out of it. Last week, I again invited her over, and to my greatest surprise, it reoccurred. I was of the opinion that this was just a one-time occurrence. I couldn't believe an adult over 20 years would wet her bed. After a little confrontation, she told me that she was actually a bedwetter. She explained that it happens when she dreams that she's urinating. To be honest, I'm feeling really irritated. I've lost the love I have for her, and it seems like I'm just faking it right now to stay. It's a shame. Please advise me on how to proceed. Rosina, you're going to be the first person I'm coming to here. Issues of bedwetting.
Okay, so bedwetting, I believe, can be caused either from pure laziness, because some people just sleep so deeply and they just can't get themselves to wake up from bed and go and pee when they feel like doing so. But sometimes it could also be medical. But most of the time, especially, people tend to feel embarrassed by taking such conditions to the hospital because everybody around them stops bedwetting and they don't understand why they are still going on and going to the hospital to complain to a doctor that you are bedwetting when there are more serious issues at play. You feel like your issue is not strong enough to take to the hospital. So most people tend to just try and keep it in their cupboards and then wait till it gets, completely out of hand and then they can't do anything about it. But I think that it's something that she can actually take to the hospital and have it investigated to find out why she's still bedwetting as an adult. That is if the reason is anything other than laziness. But to start with, she could try setting alarm clocks, just like we do for children, to stop them from bedwetting. So if you go to bed, you set an alarm clock, let's say for 11 p.m., you wake up, you go and pee. You set another alarm clock like 2 a.m., that's when the sleep is really, really, really nice, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Set an alarm clock for like 3 a.m., get up and go and pee, just like we do for kids. And who knows, it may actually give you some form of remedy. Now, the thing is that you have such a problem, you haven't cured it yet, you're going to do a washing. Why?
Going to sleep at your bed, your boyfriend's house. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm sorry, for the benefits of Sabi, a washing is like sleeping away with your boyfriend, like sleeping out. Okay. So I'm saying that you have such a problem and you're going to sleep out. Why? Why are you sleeping out? You understand? So you need to sort certain things out. Right now you've put, all kinds of, stress on the relationship unduly. But then again, the man who also sends the message, you see, when people talk about love, loving the other partner, my question is that, do they really understand that word or they just throw it around because things are good? Because when you love people, you love the people for who they are, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The issue is about weighing to see for you what is a deal breaker and what isn't a deal breaker. Then that probably reinforces the love that you have for them. Now, if you find out that your wife is a bedwetter, this is something that happens indoors. People don't have to find out. And she has come clean with you and admitted that, yes, this is the situation. My take is that why don't you suggest medical help to her? Why don't you try and address the problem and see whether there is a headway? All of a sudden, the love that you felt for her, everything that you have for her has just vanished just because you've seen her bedwetting. Yes, it can be very daunting, but, sometimes being a mother, it opens your mind to certain kinds of ailments. You realize that sometimes the process of pregnancy and even childbirth, sometimes you go through certain horrid experiences, nasty experiences, and it may not be any fault of yours. And it's very painful when the other person who is supposed to love you, supposed to care for you, just leaves you out in the cold. So all I'm saying is that since it's the man who is sending the message, all I'll say is that, yes, you claim you loved her so much before this incident. Yes, this incident is very annoying, especially if you're somebody who has OCD issues. I don't think you want to wake up and have your whole bed smelling like urine and wet and all of that. However, if you claim you love the person, at least try and seek medical help. If you try and seek medical help and she's not interested, she's probably arrogant about it and doesn't want to go and is probably angered, why are you suggesting this kind of medical help for me? Then you know that she's in a space where she doesn't want to get better. Then you can make your decision from then on. But maybe if you suggested to her that, look, let's go see a medical professional to see whether we can deal with this, because it can be cured. For most cases, it can be cured. So let's find out if we can see somebody and then to kind of like take us through the processes of rectifying the situation. That's all I have to say.
Okay,
so
Sabby,
if you love her.
Okay, I get it. Like if you love her, then definitely you need to sort of stick it through, right? Sabby, let me hear your thoughts on this one. I mean, what would you do with a bedwetter?
Rosina, I think you and I are in the same WhatsApp group, as we'd say. So my biggest issue with this is that it's wrapped up in shame, especially from the woman's side. As Rosina said, there's this shame. We're a certain age. How can I be wetting the bed? And I'm so sad that the shame is keeping her from seeking medical help. And let's reframe this. Let's reframe something that he's looking at a negative and say, you know, for someone, if he truly loves her, I feel like he should go, okay, this is a problem. And I'm worried about you. You know, actually, there's so many things that this could be. It could be diabetes. It could be a urinary tract infection. You know, it could be like neurological disorders. Her body is actually talking to her and saying, seek help. Possibly there's medication for this. Second thing for me, what concerns me is that it seems like they're not talking. How are you in a relationship with someone for 1 year? And after a year and after talking about marriage, only when you're sleeping next to him after 1 year do you find this out. For me, that's like very scary. Like, you know, she's shameful. She doesn't feel comfortable being vulnerable with him. And then him on the same side, this has happened. And he's just told himself, I'm done, I'm out. You know, this could have easily happened a year after they get married, 2 years after they get married. I mean, what is he going to do? Is he going to walk away? Things happen in life. You know, I could get married now and be in a car accident and be paralyzed. Are you going to leave me? So the question I have, even besides the wetting in the bed, what is the foundation of their relationship? You know, where's that foundation? Where's the strength that says, you know, through thick and thin, the same wedding vows that he's professing he wants to make? You know, it's life. Things happen. So the first thing for me would be to talk to her about it, not to condemn her because of it, to have it checked out, and to really just have an honest conversation, because I feel like from her side, keeping this a secret for so long says to me that there's a level of trust that's missing. And from him, she wet the bed twice. He expected it to be over the first time he asked, and it's not, and he's done. That's the problem.
Right.
So yes, the bed wet is the center of the issue, but I feel like there's a deeper issue in the relationship. There's no communication or trust here.
Right. Okay. Well, Gail, you've heard the ladies. What are your thoughts?
Well, I can always say, before you say I do, you should have known certain things about the other person. I'm not saying you can know everything, because sometimes it's situations that reveal certain things about someone. Even myself, I don't think I know myself totally. There are things I could be able to kill. I don't know. I've never killed before, but who knows if I'm provoked, I could. So, but having said that, before you make things official with somebody, you should be able to, how do I call it? You and your partner be in certain situations that will make you know that, hey, this person acts this way in this situation, acts this way in this situation. You should have been able to have spent time with him and all of that to know that, okay, this is what she has, before deciding to be with her. Because it looks like he just decided to marry her based on, okay, we're dating. Okay, we've been together for a while. Okay, because obviously it's not a very solid relationship. It's not a mature one, because just this little thing that you saw, you are like, okay, I'm just, I'm bailing out.
Right.
So it's just a very shallow relationship. And with these things, I know it's very uncomfortable that someone peed, but what if you were with her, she got pregnant? I know women, when some of them, when they get pregnant, some of them even pee sometimes when they are pregnant because of the pressure of the baby on the I'm not a scientist, so yes, so sometimes they pee, you know. And then what if, and I know there are some women, after they have their babies, they have this condition called fistula, something, you know, and then you, something, and then you pee and all of that. So you see, like, what's her name again? Your friend from South Africa.
Sabi.
Yeah, like she said, anything can happen. So if you're not ready for all of that, because for me, I always say that relationships and marriages are not based on physical, like standards, like the person's age, how they look like, and all those things. You need to look for deeper things that you can't buy with money. You know, intangibles like, you know, integrity, commitment, and, you know, a person's character, because that's what will always be with that person. Because you can age, you can wrinkle and everything, but what will keep you with a person is the substance of that person. So you don't just get up and decide I want to be with someone just because
all is well.
Yes, and yeah, also that's what life is all about. So I grow up, I get a job, I get married. No, people make such mistakes and you get married for the wrong reasons. So, and I've been talking to a couple of ladies, actually counseling them who are also going through the same thing. And you can tell that they all had issues, psychological issues that happened to them when they were younger. They were sexually abused. And so when that happens, it gives you a low self-esteem of yourself. And so the way you think, you're not able to develop like the way
a regular person.
Yes, because you have all that, you are dealing with all of that, your low self-esteem, you know, you have an inferiority complex and stuff like that. So that can also make you not to, like I said, not function the way an adult would. So like your friend said again, I've forgotten the name, Sabi, right? She said something about psychological something deeper, you see. So this guy, obviously, you and the lady are not on the same page. So you just leave her alone. If you can help her, help her. She definitely needs to get some help. I don't know about the medical side because I don't know. But if psychologically, definitely she needs that, because the more it keeps happening, the more your self-esteem keeps getting lower and lower, because look at what happened and see the way you reacted.
Yes, it's embarrassing.
So and she trusted you. I'm sure she knows she had an issue, but because she said you loved her, you're going to marry her, she knows this is somebody I can be vulnerable with.
Right.
And then so coming over, I don't think she knew. I'm sure she was praying it won't happen. But the more you're worried about it, the more it's going to happen.
Right.
So she needs help.
Right. Yeah, she definitely
needs help.
Definitely does.
And put the dating thing on hold. That's what I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dear gentlemen, I'd like you to try something. I was doing a little like research about this whole bedwetting thing. Let your lady try to reduce eating carbs, especially starchy carbs, before bed. Now, for me, from what like I read, it has a lot to do with how deeply you sleep. Carbs completely knock you out.
They do.
And so you'll go from REM to light sleep and deep sleep. Sometimes when you have carbs, you don't even do the light sleep stage. You go straight into deep sleep.
Wow.
Now, when you're in deep sleep, from what I read, your body at some point has no control. Like, you have no control over your body anymore. And that's where sometimes there's this thing they call in Ghana, mununkum. Have you heard of it?
I heard of that, where you
it's
feel
like you feel like there's a spirit. Yeah, you can't wake up. You're awake, but your body won't move and you're screaming. And you have these thoughts about like, because you're in that state. And when you're in that state, you don't have control over your body. And that's why in certain cases, she can pee. So like I'm saying, let her reduce her carbohydrate intake towards bedtime. If at all, let her have like her last meal maybe at 4 p.m.
And no liquids too,
yes, and drink, and try not to drink too much water towards bedtime as well. I think that should help the situation a little bit. I understand, you know, how you feel, dear guy, but like the ladies are saying, if you really love this woman, you should be able to look beyond, try and help her find a solution and sort of progress, you know, as you go along. Help her. Let her know that you're with her through thick and thin, because that's what love is really about. It's not about everything being 100%. That will never happen. So what if, knock on wood, 10 years down the line, you have an accident and you lose a leg.
To stay with you,
Do you expect? Yes. Do you expect her to stay with you? I'm sure the answer will be yes. Right. So if you really love her, then you might want to reconsider all these things. Find it, you know, dig deep, and look for that love. Let me bring in a couple of messages. So Emma says, everybody loves until they have to love. Interesting one there. Alpha says, why don't you do away with the whole love issue for now? Play Good Samaritan, see if positive results would come out, and if they could bring back the love. I wish you well. Dominic says, this is not normal, my brother. There's a spiritual side to it. Help her with prayers and look for a powerful man of God to deliver her in prayers if you truly love her, so you can have your woman to yourself. Jifa says, you can equally help her find a remedy for this. By the way, if she visits, make sure you wake her up randomly to pee. It shall be well. Craig says, your write-up shows you did absolutely nothing to help her out of this situation. How pathetic. Do you think relationship and marriage is about finding the perfect person? Melissa says, it's difficult since it's something unexpected, but if that person truly compliments you and you truly love her, then please help her deal with it. Soraya says, the only thing I'm going to say is that what you had for her was not love. At the end of the day, leaving her will be the best thing that will ever happen to her. Pfizer says, most often we misuse the phrase, I love you. If you love someone, love everything about the person. Be ready to go through thick and thin with him or her. Now, mister, if this issue had been vice versa, I believe you would have begged her to stay and to keep your secret. Ronnie says, if you did love her, what you'll be thinking about is getting her a doctor's appointment. Y'all think love is something about perfection, eh? And finally, Sandra says, but wait, please, those saying he's selfish, he never loved her, blah, blah, blah. No, let's ask ourselves, how many of us will be able to get married to a bedwetter? It's not easy. Please cut him some slack. Thank you so much for watching Sister Sister on your favorite City TV. Now, don't forget, if you want some more exciting content, you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel. We call it the City Tube. And don't forget to click on the bell to receive notifications for fresh updates. Sister Sister, every Friday at 9 p.m. only on City TV.